Hello and welcome to this unboxing video of a new Kreidler e-bike. Here we are opening the package first. As you can see, it comes with this big cardboard boxes wrapped around the bike in two different ways. Let's get these off. As you can see, this is a black colored Kreidler, and there's some plastics around it to protect it further. There's a lamp. One weird thing was though that there was no dynamo in this one. In the previous Kreidler that I bought, there was a dynamo as well, so that the lamp could be powered from that, but not in this one. Here's the manual, and here's the charger for the battery in that box. Let's remove some more of these protective plastics. And there's the serial number of the bike. That is good to note in case it gets stolen. Some more protections, and there you can also see the front wheel that contains the motor, the electric motor. And here you have the controls for the motor, and there's the lock that locks the battery in place so that no one can come and steal your battery. These batteries are quite expensive. I think they're a couple of €100 on their own. Some more protective caps here on the sides of the bike. Let's get those off. This is how the wheel looks like. And as you can see, we have 7 different gears. Let's open up the box with the charger and other smaller items like the keys and the pedals. There's also a cable for the charger, and the pedals wrapped in some plastic, and a manual for the charger. And as you can see, there's also 2 of these hex keys here, which is nice to have. So we're gonna attach these pedals real quick. So just spin them in place like this. And we can tighten them with the key. Let's adjust the height of our handlebars here. Turn the front wheel straight. Here's the saddle, and now it's time to pump some air into the tires. Let's place the cap on top of the screw, not to make it collect water and get rusty. And here's our bike ready to be ridden. Let's give it a test round. We want to now charge the battery so that we can enjoy the power of the motor as well. So we'll simply connect the cables. And we'll connect the other end to the battery with this XLR plug-in with 3 pins. And now it's charging. It should take a maximum of 4 hours to fully charge the battery. Here you can see the brakes operating. This bike comes with both foot brakes and hand brakes. There's the battery holder. And it has a foot stand as well. And here we have some footage a couple of months after first buying the bike. So we have now been able to test it for a few months. So far it has worked quite nicely, but there was one thing that did break, and that was the part that holds the plastic part that holds the power control of the motor. That actually broke, so we had to kind of glue it back together, and I also put some duct tape there to kind of make sure that it stays in place. But yeah, that part was plastic and it got a little bit loosened up, and when I tried to tighten it back up, I guess I used a little bit too much force and the plastic broke, so that was a slightly negative thing, but it didn't make, we can still drive the bike just fine. So here's our review of the bike with some pluses and minuses. So first of all, it's a very cheap e-bike, around 1100 euros. That should be maybe something like $1,300. I think the build quality of the bike overall seems decent, and the battery lasts quite nicely, 30 kilometers plus, even with full throttle. I like the brakes because there's both hand brakes and foot brakes, and the shape of the bike makes it very comfortable to ride, and the saddle is very comfortable, so it feels really nice to ride this bike. So the minuses would be then that the plastic power control case broke very easily just by tightening it. The plastic just crumbled and broke, and the bike can feel a little bit wobbly sometimes. You need to make sure that you tighten the screws regularly so that nothing is kind of wobbling around. But here's the big thing then. I was already going to publish this review, but yesterday the motor of our bike, and this is the second Kreidler bike like this that we have, because the first one got stolen. So now the motor of the second bike seems to have broken after only a few months of use. Here's some footage of that. So as you can see, it starts making this really loud sound and loses, it doesn't give any aid anymore, so something is definitely broken in there. So because of that, it's hard to recommend this bike. Of course, it will probably be repaired, and the guarantee is going to cover it, but it does make it feel a little bit untrustworthy. So the first similar bike that we had actually lasted 1 year though, so maybe there's some variation in quality between these. So because it still has many nice features, I'm gonna give it 3 stars, but that's the absolute maximum I can give this bike. Alright, Thanks for watching and see you next time on dxreview.com.